Hello and welcome back to my channel 𝗦𝗛𝗔𝗛 Stock Analyst. This is Neeraj here. In today's video I wanted to discuss regarding the future of cryptocurrencies because many people, and I have seen also many discussions all over the world that what is the future of cryptocurrencies, because many countries like India and China has kind of banned it, and India is also, thus RBI, the Reserve Bank of India, is in favor of banning it, but the finance ministry and the economic ministry, they are in kind of not outright banning it, but they are in favor of regulating it or bringing it under government regulation. And also there are many other countries also talking about kind of banning it or making some kind of a regulation so that these cryptocurrencies are regulated. So there are questions, is that will it be banned, or what will happen to this, or it will be regulated? So let me answer this with some of my understanding and knowledge and experience about or the background about all these things. So as you know that, let me give you some background about the cryptocurrencies. There are 8,806 different cryptocurrencies, and total market cap of all the cryptocurrencies listed and traded is $1.02 trillion. It's more than $1 trillion, and approximately volume as of now in the last few days, you can say it's around $440 billion. And at the time of the peak, when in 2020, after this COVID lockdown, and when the market had, that time this volumes had even crossed $500 billion. So almost whatever the it was more than 10 times the volume. So, and some of the major cryptocurrencies in the world, or you can say the USA, it's Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, USD coin, Dogecoin, XRP, Binance USD. So these are the major cryptocurrencies. And what is the reason for so much outcry by the government, central banks, and some of the countries' government in banning it? Because, as you know, it is anonymous. So no need of how this is it working is there is no kind of a government regulation and monitoring. It works on the technology and on the background of the technology. So beyond that, there is no monitoring or how this transaction is taking place, who is buying, who is selling, where is it actually deposited, what is the backing of this. There is nothing on the where it can be controlled. So it is a purely a technologically, what do you call that, it is generated, and it's called mining, that is the kind of a. So the governments, it becomes difficult for government to monitor its usage and transactions. So it can be used for narco smuggling, it can be used for narcotics, it can be used for terrorist funding, it can be used for hawala transactions and the funding, illegal transactions funding, anti-government funding. So all kinds of where nobody understands that from where the money can come and from where that money will be going. So this is the, what do you call, a danger for the governments all over the world, as well as there is a beauty for some of the people who would like it to be anonymous and they don't like to be coming under the government monitoring and regulation. But as you know, even though these cryptos, they don't have any asset backing, so I keep on saying that I don't, let me give you a disclaimer that I don't recommend investing in any of these cryptocurrencies, because fundamentally there is nothing in these currencies. It's not backed by any asset. It's a pure gambling or speculation. But still, it has its own usage as it is backed or it is tied to US dollar. So if you go to USA, in USA there are crypto ATMs, just like normal bank ATMs, where you can withdraw money against your crypto wallet. So you can get US dollar. So it can be perfectly encased. So it is a totally fungible in USA it becomes a fungible asset. It's not non-fungible, it's fungible asset, so that you whatever in your wallet, whatever the crypto 1, 2, half, whatever it is there. I don't know about that technology much, but it can be at that particular rate, because daily it is traded. It can be immediately, you can get cash from those ATMs. So it's very popular in USA. So it becomes a proxy for US dollar. So even if we talk about de-dollarization in the world, it's increasing. But if you look at the other aspect, this is the aspect I think which not many people have talked about. This is my viewpoint, is that if you look at this de-dollarization, the pace of de-dollarization will be compensated by the increasing use of the crypto. So on one hand, if suppose the use of USD as international currency is getting reduced, like everybody is saying that, like India, Russia is trying to do more and more transactions in rupee, ruble, the same way with the say Saudi or UAE, more into the oil purchases trying to be happening in the dirham, and the China is also trying to make it yuan, Chinese yuan popular by more and more countries switching to, say, with the trade with China, and China is one of the largest trading partners in the world. Okay, so see, many of these African countries, Latin American countries, or the Asian countries, they are switching to the local currencies with the government, with the countries in which they are trying to trade. So trying to replace and not use of USD as a currency of mechanism, trade mechanism or payment mechanism. So if on the one hand this is reducing the usage of USD, but on the other end there are also many countries which are, say, under sanctions, or which are, say, there is so much of currency volatility that currency has lost its meaning. You know, if on a daily basis the currency loses by 5 to 10%, it's like, you know, you have currency which is of no value, paper. Okay, because of the inflation, because of the recession, negative trade balance, volatility, very high interest rate. So many factors of economic factors, one currency can be very volatile. So many of the small countries, or what you call that kind of a countries, have, even in Latin America or in the Caribbean island, I don't remember the name, but that particular country, I think Salvador or Nicaragua or something else, which has replaced and which has made it this crypto, which crypto I don't know, but some of the cryptocurrencies as the national currency. Like, so there won't be any this printing of that national currency. They have withdrawn because of loss of, actually it become like paper, there is no value. So many of these countries, if more and more such things happen, then maybe, you know, more countries will switch to such kind of digital currencies or crypto in their own national transactions also. So that also gives some fundamental, what do you call that, backing of crypto. And I can tell you, this is my experience, because I know somebody who is working in, say, suppose in Russia, and they get money because the company is somehow related to USA and they do transaction with USA in US dollar, but because of this sanctions and because of even Russian government discouraging payment in US dollar through the normal mechanism, more and more they get, how they get is that somebody, that payment has to be made in US dollar to the Russian entity, so they exchange from the USA company, so the USA company exchanges it into the crypto, that payment of that particular day, and that in turn that crypto gets credited to the account of this particular Russian entity, and then in turn they get that payment in dollar, because crypto, as you know, that it can be transacted in dollars, it can be encashed into dollars in anywhere. So this is how the international trade mechanism is also evolving. So this is also going to be one of the challenges as well as the opportunity for so-called, you know, bypassing government regulation and government monitoring as well as the sanction mechanism, And how this is happening? Because in a way, indirectly, it is encouraged by USA only, USA government only. Because if de-dollarization happens, USA loses its primacy and so that way they encourage this, that okay, even if it is happening, they know this, but still they close their eyes and allow this to happen. How it's happening in case of Ukraine? Half of the money and the weapons it ends up in some African country and where some other illegal entities, or which is not the destination. How it ends up in some other terrorist hands and everything. And how the money transaction happens. Money transaction happens through these cryptos. So it is in interest of USA that they continue to allow this kind of a crypto, and cryptos will continue to flourish despite of halla and cry by the governments like India, China, or some other big governments who are in favor of bringing out some kind of an international regulatory mechanism to monitor or to control or regulate, at least not control, but regulate these cryptocurrencies. I believe that this is not going to be, because it's not in the, as I explained to you, that it is a way of balancing the de-dollarization process in a way, to the extent. So this helps in bypassing government regulation, as well as the government, as we talked about, countries with the extreme currency volatility because of the high inflation, negative GDP. And India and other countries are working on their own digital currencies, as you know, but it will not be called cryptocurrencies, because crypto means free of government regulation and monitoring, and so it will continue to exist because of this unique feature, even though it is not backed by any asset. And as I told you, I don't recommend investment in crypto because it's pure gambling and speculation, but still it serves the purpose of anonymity and bypassing government regulation and monitoring. That is the biggest, the advantage of this for many people it serves. In fact, as I told you, it serves USA's purpose, United States of America's purpose also, as it keeps US dollar in popularity as the main international currency and supports its continuance as the prominent currency of the world. So I believe USA will also not allow it to be banned internationally, or it will not allow. In fact, it will continue to support cryptos and pay just lip service for the government regulation. Means when there will be talk about in UN and all this G20 that crypto should be brought under international regulation or some kind of international monitoring, where all the countries agree for a minimum regulatory mechanism, common minimum regulatory mechanism, it will just pay lip service, say yes, 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 but nothing will come out. That's what my understanding or view about this is that, and it will somehow discourage it to bring it under any regulation, because then it will allow its total de-dollarization or acceleration of the de-dollarization process. In this way, it is keeping on both sides dollar as well as cryptos under its own ambience of influence, because right now cryptos are encashable in dollars only, as USA has all the ATMs of cryptos in their country, just like the normal bank ATMs. So this is what I wanted to share, that cryptos will continue to thrive, even though it is not a investment this thing, but nothing will happen to those currencies. It will not come, it will not be banned, and it will not come under some kind of international regulation. Before this, if please request you to please subscribe to my channel, and you please put a like and share it with your maximum friends. Please put it, and also visit my website www.steelanalyst.com for knowing about my services, which are paid services for consultancy, investment, advisory, business advisory for Russia, for India, and for any other stock advisory also. Till that time, we'll see you once again next week with some more unique idea. Till that time, ciao from Neeraj from Moscow.